my chosen one, something has just been released from the heavens, and it carries your name. This is not a coincidence. This is not just another message scrolling past your eyes. This is the moment everything begins to shift. Right now, as you are listening, a divine alert has been activated, and Archangel Michael stands at the edge of this moment, calling you with urgency that cannot be ignored. There are only a few who were meant to receive this in time, and somehow, you are one of them. You may have felt it already, that strange tension in your spirit, that unexplainable heaviness in your chest, or the sudden feeling that something is about to change. That is not your imagination. That is a signal. Heaven hath been trying to reach you, but now the message has become too urgent to whisper. It must be spoken clearly, directly, and without delay. May 16th is not just another date on the calendar. It is a line drawn between what was and what will be. And once that line is crossed, nothing will remain the same. Archangel Michael is not coming with soft words today. This is an emergency. There is something forming behind the scenes, something hidden, something that has been allowed to grow quietly, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal itself. And when it does, it will shake you to your core. Not to destroy you, but to awaken you. Still, the shock will be real. The impact will be undeniable. And those who are unprepared will not understand what is happening around them. But listen carefully, you are not being left without warning. That is why this message found you now. Because there is still time. A small window remains open. A sacred opportunity to turn things around before the full weight of what's coming arrives. Most people will miss it. They will scroll past, ignore the signs, and continue as if nothing is changing. But you were stopped here for a reason. There is something connected to your life, something very close to you, that is not what it appears to be. It has been hidden in plain sight, quietly influencing your path, your peace, even your decisions. And as May 16th approaches, the truth will begin to surface. It will not ask for permission. It will not wait for you to feel ready. It will come suddenly. And when it does, you will either be prepared or completely shaken. Archangel Michael is stepping forward as your protector, but protection requires alignment. You cannot stand still anymore. You cannot ignore what your spirit has been trying to tell you. This is the hour of awakening, the hour of decision, the hour where everything begins to separate, truth from illusion, light from shadow, clarity from confusion. And here is the truth that may surprise you the most. This was never meant to harm you. What is coming is not sent to break you. It is sent to reveal what has been hidden so that you can finally step into the life you were meant to live. But the process, the unveiling, it will feel intense. It will feel overwhelming if you are not ready. So hear this clearly, because it may be the most important thing you receive today. You still have time. Not much, but enough. Enough to prepare. Enough to realign. Enough to listen. Because once May 16th arrives, the silence will be broken. There is a reason your spirit has felt unsettled lately, as if something beneath the surface is shifting in ways you cannot fully explain. This did not begin today. It has been building quietly, moment by moment, sign by sign. You may have dismissed it at first, the strange patterns, the repeated thoughts, the moments where everything around you felt slightly off. But those were not random. They were signals, carefully placed along your path, waiting for you to notice. Think back to the recent days. Have you experienced sudden interruptions in your plans, delays that made no sense, or unexpected changes that forced you to pause? At the time, it may have felt frustrating, even inconvenient. But now you are being shown a deeper truth. Those interruptions were not obstacles. They were divine interventions. Archangel Michael has been working behind the scenes, redirecting your steps, preventing you from walking further into something you were never meant to face unprepared. You may have also noticed a growing sensitivity within yourself. Things that once felt normal may now feel heavy or uncomfortable. Certain people, conversations, or environments may suddenly drain your energy or create unease in your spirit. This is not weakness. This is awareness awakening within you. Your discernment is being sharpened because something hidden is coming into the light, and you are being prepared to recognize it. There have also been moments of quiet knowing, those flashes where, without any clear reason, you felt that something was not right. You may have questioned it, doubted it, or tried to explain it away. But those instincts were not false. That was your spirit receiving whispers from heaven. Archangel Michael has been trying to reach you in ways that go beyond words, using your intuition as a channel to warn and guide you. Even your dreams may have changed. Perhaps you have seen unusual images, felt strong emotions while sleeping, or woken up with a lingering sense that something important was shown to you. These are not ordinary dreams. They are messages. When the physical world becomes too loud, heaven speaks through the quiet spaces of your mind. And right now, those messages have become more urgent than ever before. You were never meant to ignore these signs. They were given to you as preparation, as a form of protection. But here is where many lose their way. They begin to doubt what they feel. They silence their inner voice. They choose comfort over truth. And in doing so, they walk blindly into moments that could have been avoided. But you are being called to do something different. You are being asked to trust what you have sensed, even if it does not fully make sense yet. Because very soon, what was once subtle will become undeniable. The hidden will rise to the surface. The confusion will give way to clarity. And when that moment arrives, every sign you experienced will suddenly connect like pieces of a puzzle you didn't realize you were solving. Time is no longer moving quietly. It is accelerating. The space between warning and revelation is becoming smaller with each passing day. That is why this message carries such urgency. It is not meant to scare you, but to awaken you fully before the shift takes place. Archangel Michael is not only warning you, he is positioning you. Every delay, every feeling, every moment of discomfort has been part of a greater plan to keep you aligned with truth. But alignment requires your participation. You cannot ignore what you now understand. You cannot return to sleep after being awakened. Something is approaching, and the closer it gets, the clearer everything will become. The question is not whether the signs were real. The question is whether you are ready to act on them now, before the moment of revelation arrives. There is something you must understand now, and it may feel unsettling at first, but it is necessary for your protection. The tension you have been feeling is not only within you, it is around you. It is connected to your space, your environment, the very place where you rest, think, and exist each day. Your home has become a focal point of a quiet, unseen battle, not one of physical destruction, but of influence, energy, and presence. And this battle has been intensifying as May 16th draws closer. You may have noticed subtle changes without realizing their significance. A sudden discomfort in certain areas of your home. A heaviness in the air that appears without reason. Moments when silence feels too loud, or when peace feels just out of reach. These are not ordinary experiences. They are signals that something within your environment is shifting, and not all of it is aligned with your well-being. There are forces that operate in silence, influencing thoughts, emotions, and decisions without ever revealing themselves directly. They thrive in confusion, distraction, and doubt. And when left unnoticed, they can slowly create a balance in your life. But here is what they did not expect. You were not meant to remain unaware. You were meant to awaken before their influence could take root completely. Archangel Michael has been present in this space, even when you could not see it. Standing guard, observing what has been hidden, and preparing you for this exact moment. His presence is not passive, is active, protective, and purposeful. But there is a divine law that must be honored. Your awareness and your willingness to act are required for full protection to be activated. Here is something connected to your surroundings that is not what it appears to be. It could be a presence, a pattern, or even a person whose energy has quietly disrupted your peace. It has blended into your normal life so seamlessly that it avoided detection. But now, as the spiritual tension rises, its influence can no longer remain hidden. The closer you move toward May 16th, the more visible this truth will become. You may begin to notice sudden realizations, moments where things no longer add up the way they once did. Conversations may reveal hidden meanings. Actions of others may begin to feel different, almost as if a mask is slipping away. This is not coincidence. This is exposure. And while it may feel unsettling, it is necessary for your freedom. But listen carefully. This is not a moment to react in fear. Fear is what these hidden forces rely on. Panic creates confusion, and confusion clouds your ability to see clearly. Instead, you are being called into awareness and authority. You are not powerless in this situation. You are being positioned to stand in truth, guided by the protection of Archangel Michael. There are simple yet powerful shifts you must begin to make. Pay attention to how you feel in your own space. Trust your instincts when something feels off. Create moments of stillness where you can hear your inner voice more clearly. Speak words of clarity and peace within your environment, because your voice carries power. When you align your thoughts and your space with truth, anything hidden begins to lose its grip. This battle is not meant to harm you. It is meant to reveal what does not belong, so it can no longer influence your life. And as the truth rises, you will begin to reclaim the peace that was quietly disturbed. But this requires your awareness now, not later. Because once the full exposure happens, the intensity of that moment will demand that you are already grounded and prepared. Archangel Michael is not distant from this. He is present, closer than you realize, guiding you through every realization, every shift, every moment of clarity. You are not facing this alone. But you must remain alert, open, and willing to see what is being shown to you. The hidden battle around your home is reaching its peak, but so is your ability to overcome it. What was concealed is beginning to break apart. What was influencing you without your awareness is losing its hold. And as this unfolds, you are being lifted into a position of clarity, strength, and protection. Type "I see the truth" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Lesson code 639 is now activated. And as this truth settles into your heart, understand this. What you are receiving is not just a message. It is a movement of light reaching souls who are ready to awaken. When you choose to support this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are sowing into the lives of countless others who are still searching for this very warning. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," and this is your moment to step into that living promise. As you release your seed, you open the heavens over your own life, allowing protection, clarity, and provision to flow back to you. If you feel this stirring within you, this is your confirmation to act. Use the super thanks or the PayPal link in the description, or even the QR code before you, and become a vessel through which this light continues to reach the unseen. Those who move in obedience in moments like this are marked, protected, and remembered. Step into this act now, and let your giving speak where words cannot. There are moments in time that pass like any other day, quiet and unremarkable. And then there are moments that carry a weight beyond human understanding, moments that are set in place long before you were even aware of them. May 16th is one of those moments. This is not a random date. It is not something that can be postponed, ignored, or shifted by human will. It has been marked, appointed, and aligned with a sequence that is now reaching its final stage. You may wonder why this specific day holds such urgency. Why not tomorrow? Why not later? The answer lies in timing that goes far beyond what you can see. There are spiritual cycles that move in patterns, and when those patterns reach completion, they trigger events that must unfold. May 16th is the point where a cycle closes and another begins. It is the moment where what has been hidden can no longer remain concealed. Leading up to this day, everything hath been building quietly. The signs you experienced, the tension you felt, the subtle shifts in your environment, they were all part of a preparation phase. But preparation is not the final step. There comes a moment when preparation must give way to revelation. And that moment cannot be delayed, because it is tied to a greater alignment that affects not just you, but everything connected to your path. Archangel Michael is revealing this to you now because once this threshold is crossed, events will begin to move quickly. What once felt uncertain will suddenly become clear. Situations that lingered in confusion will resolve, but not always in the way you expect. Truth does not always arrive gently. Sometimes it comes with force, breaking through illusions that were carefully maintained. And when that happens, there is no returning to what once was. This is why the time before May 16th is so critical. It is not just a warning, it is a window, a final opportunity to prepare your mind, your spirit, and your environment for what is about to unfold. Many will ignore this window. They will continue as they are, unaware that they are stepping into a moment that will demand awareness and strength. But you are being given the chance to stand ready. There is also something else you must understand. Delays you have experienced in your life recently were not setbacks, they were alignments. You were being held back from moving too quickly, from making decisions or commitments that would have placed you in a vulnerable position when this shift occurs. What felt like frustration was in truth protection. Archangel Michael was ensuring that when this moment arrived, you would not be caught in the wrong place, with the wrong energy, with the wrong understanding. Now that moment is almost here. The energy surrounding this date is tightening, becoming more intense with each passing hour. You may feel it in your thoughts, in your emotions, even in your physical body. This is because you are sensitive to what is coming. You are aware, even if you cannot fully explain why. But do not mistake this intensity for something negative. This is not meant to harm you. It is meant to wake you completely. It is meant to push you into clarity, to strip away anything that no longer serves your path, and to position you where you are meant to be. However, the process of being moved into alignment can feel uncomfortable if you resist it. This is why your response now matters more than ever. You are being asked to pay attention, to remain grounded, and to trust what is being revealed to you. Do not rush into decisions out of fear, but do not ignore what you feel either. There is a balance being called forth within you, awareness without panic, readiness without fear. May 16th cannot be delayed because it is not waiting for anyone to feel ready. It will arrive exactly as it is meant to. The only question that remains is whether you will meet it prepared, or whether it will catch you off guard. Archangel Michael is guiding you to choose preparation, to choose awareness, to choose alignment. Because when this moment unfolds, those who have listened will not be shaken in the same way as those who have ignored the call. The time you have now is valuable. Use it wisely. There is a presence connected to your life that has remained hidden behind familiarity, and now the moment of exposure is approaching. This is not someone distant or unknown. This is someone whose existence has blended into your reality so naturally that you never felt the need to question it deeply. But that is exactly how deception survives, by appearing ordinary, by becoming part of the background, by never drawing enough attention to be fully examined. This woman has not revealed her true intentions, not completely. Her words may have seemed supportive, her actions at times even helpful, but beneath its surface there has been a quiet inconsistency, something that never fully aligned, something your spirit may have sensed but could not clearly define. That subtle discomfort you once dismissed is now returning, stronger and more persistent, because the truth is rising. Archangel Michael is bringing this to your awareness not to create fear or suspicion toward everyone around you, but to sharpen your discernment. Not every connection in your life carries the same energy, and not every person is meant to walk with you into what is coming next. There are those who uplift, who align with your purpose, and then there are those who, knowingly or unknowingly, create confusion, delay, or imbalance. This woman represents more than just a person. She represents a pattern, one that has influenced your decisions, your emotions, and even your sense of clarity at times. There may have been moments when you second-guessed yourself after speaking with her, moments when your peace felt disrupted without a clear reason, or times when situations became more complicated instead of clearer. These were not coincidences. They were indicators. But understand this clearly. Exposure does not always come through confrontation. It comes through revelation. You will begin to see things differently, to hear words with new understanding, to notice details that were once overlooked. It will feel as if a veil is being lifted from your eyes, allowing you to perceive what was always there but hidden beneath the surface. As May 16th approaches, this process will accelerate. The truth will not remain buried. It will find its way to the surface, and when it does, it may come in unexpected ways. A conversation may reveal more than intended. An action may contradict past words. A moment may unfold that makes everything suddenly clear. And when that clarity arrives, you will not need anyone else to confirm it. You will know. This is where many people struggle. When the truth becomes visible, there is a temptation to deny it, to hold on to the version of reality that felt comfortable. But you are being called to choose truth over comfort, because what is being revealed is not meant to harm you. It is meant to free you from influence that no longer belongs in your life. Archangel Michael is guiding this exposure with precision. Nothing will be revealed too soon or too late. It will happen at the exact moment when you are able to understand it fully and respond with clarity instead of confusion. That is why you are being prepared now, so that when the moment comes, you will not react emotionally, but respond with awareness. It is also important to release any desire for anger or retaliation. Exposure is not about punishment. It is about separation from what is misaligned. You are not being called to fight. You are being called to see. And once you truly see, the path forward becomes clear without force. There is a shift happening within you as well. Your ability to sense truth is strengthening. Your tolerance for what feels false is diminishing. This is not a loss. It is growth. It means you are stepping into a higher level of awareness, one where you no longer accept what disturbs your peace as normal. The woman who will be exposed is part of a larger unfolding, one that is designed to remove confusion from your life. And while the moment of realization may feel intense, it will also bring a sense of clarity you have not felt before. Stay grounded. Stay observant. And most importantly, trust what you begin to see. Because once the truth is revealed, you will understand why it had to happen now, and why it could not remain hidden any longer. There is something deeper you must now come to terms with, something that may feel unsettling at first but will ultimately bring you clarity and strength. What you have been experiencing was not random, and it was not harmless. There was a pattern forming around you, carefully designed to pull you into confusion, to slow your progress, and to quietly redirect your path away from where you were meant to go. This was not an accident. It was a trap. This trap was not obvious. It did not appear as something dangerous or alarming. Instead, it was subtle, layered, and patient. It came through situations that seemed normal, conversations that felt casual, and decisions that appeared harmless at the time. But when you step back and look closely, you may begin to notice how certain things repeated themselves. The same kind of confusion, the same emotional drains, the same cycles that never fully resolved. That is how traps operate. They keep you moving in circles without realizing you are not truly progressing. You are being guided toward choices that would have placed you in a position of vulnerability just as this critical moment approaches. If you had continued down that path without interruption, the impact of what is coming would have been much heavier on you. Your clarity would have been clouded. Your strength would have been weakened. And your ability to respond wisely would have been compromised. But this is where divine intervention changed everything. Those delays you experienced, those unexpected interruptions, the moments where plans suddenly shifted or fell apart, they were not setbacks. They were interruptions to the trap. Archangel Michael stepped in at precise moments, redirecting your path just enough to keep you from going deeper into something that was not aligned with your purpose. What felt frustrating at the time was actually protection in motion. You may recall moments where you felt confused about why something didn't work out, why a certain opportunity disappeared, or why a connection became strained. At the surface, it may have seemed like loss, but now you are being shown a greater truth. It was removal. It was the breaking apart of something that would have drawn you further into a web of distraction and imbalance. Is also worked through your thoughts. There may have been moments where doubt became louder than clarity, where you questioned your own instincts, or where you felt pulled between two directions without knowing which one to trust. That inner conflict was not entirely your own. It was being influenced, shaped by external energy that benefited from your confusion. But here is what matters most. You did not fall completely into it. Despite the pressure, despite the confusion, something within you remained alert. A part of you resisted fully committing to what didn't feel right. A part of you hesitated, paused, questioned. That hesitation was not weakness. It was wisdom. It was your spirit responding to the guidance of Archangel Michael, even when you didn't fully understand it at the time. Now, as everything begins to come into focus, you are being shown just how close you came to being pulled deeper into that trap. And this realization is not meant to scare you. It is meant to empower you. Because once you can see the pattern, it no longer has power over you. The trap is losing its hold because you are becoming aware. Awareness breaks cycles. It dissolves confusion. It removes the hidden influence that once operated without resistance. And as you step into this awareness, you begin to reclaim control over your path, your decisions, and your peace. But this is not the time to become passive. This is the time to become intentional. You are being called to examine what remains around you. What still feels unclear? What still creates discomfort? What still pulls you into uncertainty? These are the final threads of that trap, and they must be recognized so they can be released. Archangel Michael is not only showing you what was said against you, he is also guiding you out of it completely. His presence is leading you toward clarity, toward truth, toward a place where nothing hidden can influence you any longer. You are not the same as you were before. You are more aware now, more alert, more aligned. And because of that, what once had the potential to hold you back is now being exposed and dismantled before it could fully take effect. The trap was real, but so is your escape. And now, you are stepping beyond it. There comes a moment when warnings are no longer enough, when signs and subtle nudges must give way to clear direction. That moment is now. You have seen the patterns. You have felt the shifts. You have begun to recognize what was hidden. And now, Archangel Michael steps forward not just as a protector, but as a guide, delivering instructions that must be followed with intention and trust. This is not a time for hesitation. This is not a time to second-guess what your spirit is already confirming within you. The instruction being given is simple, but powerful, and it requires your full attention. You are being called to separate yourself from anything that disturbs your inner peace. Not later. Not when it becomes more obvious. Now, there are connections, environments, and even habits that you must begin to distance yourself from immediately. You already know what they are. You have felt the discomfort. You have questioned their place in your life. This is your confirmation. What creates confusion cannot walk with you into clarity. What drains your spirit cannot remain where your strength is being rebuilt. Archangel Michael is not asking you to act out of fear. He is asking you to act out of alignment. When something is not in harmony with your path, it must be released. Holding on to it out of familiarity or comfort will only create resistance as the shift unfolds. You are being positioned for something greater, but you cannot carry what no longer belongs with you into that next phase. There is also an instruction concerning your space, your environment. Your home must become a place of clarity, not confusion. A place of peace, not tension. Begin to pay attention to what you allow into that space, both physically and energetically. Remove what feels heavy. Create moments of stillness where your thoughts can settle and your awareness can sharpen. Speak with intention, even in silence, because your presence carries influence. You are also being guided to trust your voice again. There were moments where you held back, where you remained silent to avoid conflict or uncertainty. But silence, when truth needs to be acknowledged, can create a balance within you. This does not mean you must confront everything or everyone. It means you must no longer ignore what you know to be true. Even if that truth is only spoken within yourself at first, it must be recognized and honored. Another instruction is to slow down your reactions. What is coming may attempt to provoke emotion, surprise, confusion, even frustration. But you are not being called to react impulsively. You are being called to observe, to understand, and then to respond with clarity. When you act from a place of awareness instead of emotion, you remain in control, and nothing can pull you back into confusion. Archangel Michael is also guiding you to strengthen your focus. Distractions will try to pull your attention away from what truly matters. Small, unnecessary concerns may appear larger than they are, trying to consume your energy. Do not allow this. Stay centered. Stay aware of what is unfolding within and around you. The clearer your focus, the easier it becomes to navigate what is coming. And finally, there is one instruction that carries the greatest importance. Trust what you feel, even if you cannot fully explain it. Your intuition has been activated for a reason. It is your connection to guidance that goes beyond logic. When something feels right, honor it. When something feels off, do not ignore it. This inner awareness is one of your strongest protections right now. These instructions are not complicated, but they are powerful when followed with intention. They are designed to keep you aligned, grounded, and protected as the shift approaches. You are not being left to figure this out on your own. You are being guided step by step, moment by moment. Archangel Michael stands with you in this process, not as a distant figure, but as an active presence guiding your path. Every choice you make now, every step you take in alignment, strengthens your position and prepares you for what is about to unfold. This is your moment to act with clarity, to move with intention, to trust that what you are being guided to do is leading you exactly where you need to be. Follow the instruction, stay aligned, and remain aware. Here is a moment, quiet yet powerful, when everything you have been sensing finally begins to take form. It does not arrive with noise or warning signs flashing in the sky. It begins within you. A shift so subtle at first that you might almost overlook it, yet so profound that once it starts, nothing within you remains the same. This is the moment where everything begins to move. You may wake up one day and feel different, without fully understanding why. The weight you once carried may feel lighter, or the confusion that clouded your thoughts may begin to clear. Situations that once felt complicated will suddenly appear simple. Decisions that once felt impossible will now feel obvious. This is not coincidence. This is alignment taking place. As you follow the guidance you have received, something within your spirit activates. It is as if a veil hath been lifted, allowing you to see your life from a higher perspective. What once distracted you no longer holds your attention. What once drained you no longer has access to your energy. You begin to recognize truth instantly, without needing to analyze or question it. At the same time, the external world begins to respond to this internal shift. Conversations change. People reveal themselves without effort. Situations that once felt stuck begin to move forward or fall away entirely. It may feel like everything is rearranging itself around you, and in many ways, it is. This is what happens when alignment takes place. What does not belong can no longer remain. You may also notice a sense of calm rising within you, even as things around you begin to shift. This calm is not accidental. It is a sign that you are grounded in awareness, that you are no longer being pulled by confusion or fear. While others may feel unsettled or uncertain, you will begin to feel steady, as if you are standing on solid ground while everything else is in motion. But understand this. This shift does not remove all intensity. There may still be moments of surprise, moments where truth is revealed in ways you did not expect. However, the difference now is that you are prepared. You are not reacting blindly. You are observing with clarity. You are responding with intention. Archangel Michael's presence becomes even more evident during this time. Not necessarily in a visible form, but in the way things align for you, in the way obstacles seem to move out of your path at the right moment, in the way clarity arrives exactly when you need it. This is not luck. This is guidance in motion. There is also a strengthening happening within you. Your confidence begins to rise, not from external validation, but from inner knowing. You no longer need constant reassurance, because you trust what you feel. You trust what you see. You trust the direction you are being led. This is the turning point, the moment where everything you have been preparing for begins to unfold. And while it may feel unfamiliar at first, there is a deep sense of rightness within it. A quiet confirmation that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Do not resist the shift. Do not try to hold on to what is being moved out of your life. Allow it to happen. Allow the changes to take place. Because what is leaving was never meant to stay, and what is arriving is aligned with your path in ways you are only beginning to understand. This is the moment where fear loses its hold and clarity takes its place. A moment where confusion dissolves and truth becomes undeniable. A moment where everything begins to shift, not against you, but for you. Type "I accept the shift" in the comments if you feel this transformation unfolding within you. Blessing code 8421 is now activated. And as you step into this powerful shift, hear this clearly. Your response to this moment can ignite transformation far beyond your own life. When you choose to support this message, you are planting seeds of light into souls who are still searching, still waiting for clarity just like you once were. The word declares, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy," and your giving becomes a living act of faith that releases that promise. I feel led to act right now, because this is not just generosity. It is obedience to a divine prompting. As you give through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link provided in the description and QR code, you become a channel through which truth continues to flow. Heaven sees every seed, and nothing given in alignment is ever lost. Those who move in this moment will find doors opening, burdens lifting, and protection surrounding them in unexpected ways. Step forward now and let your action echo in eternity. There is a moment that comes in every transformation where everything narrows into a single point of decision. It is not loud. It does not announce itself with certainty. Instead, it arrives quietly, almost like a whisper, asking you to choose. And yet, that choice carries a weight that will echo far beyond the moment itself. This is that moment for you. A door is now before you, one you may not have fully noticed until now, but it has always been there, waiting for the right time to be revealed. On one side of this door is everything you have known, the familiar patterns, the repeated cycles, the comfort of what feels safe, even if it has limited your growth. On the other side is something different, something unknown but aligned. A path that requires trust, awareness, and the courage to step forward without holding on to what must be left behind. This is not a door you can stand in front of forever. It is not a place of endless hesitation. Because as May 16th approaches, this door will not remain in this neutral state. It will either open fully or close completely. And once that happens, there will be no returning to this exact moment of choice. You may feel the weight of this decision already. A quiet tension within you, as if part of you is ready to move forward, while another part wants to hold back just a little longer. That hesitation is natural. The unknown always carries uncertainty. But what you must understand is this: what lies ahead is not meant to harm you. It is meant to free you. What you leave behind is not being taken from you unfairly. It is being removed because it no longer aligns with where you are meant to go. Holding on to it will not preserve your peace. It will delay your growth. And delay, in this moment, comes with a cost. Archangel Michael is standing at this threshold with you, not to force your decision, but to guide your awareness. You are not being pushed blindly into the unknown. You are being led toward clarity, toward a path that has already been prepared for you. But you must take the step. There are signs even now pointing you toward the direction you are meant to choose. The sense of peace that comes when you consider letting go. The subtle relief you feel when you imagine stepping away from what has been weighing on you. These are not illusions. They are confirmations. Your spirit recognizes what your mind is still trying to process. But there is also resistance. Thoughts that question, that create doubt, that suggest waiting just a little longer. This is the final echo of what you are being asked to release. It will try to keep you standing still, to keep you from making a decision, because indecision is its last form of control. You must not remain in that space. Because here is the truth. Choosing not to act is also a decision. And in moments like this, inaction often leads to the closing of doors that were once open, opportunities that were once available, clarity that was once within reach. This is why this moment matters so deeply. You are not just choosing between two paths. You are choosing between remaining where you are or stepping into where you are meant to be. And that choice cannot be delayed indefinitely. You do not need to have every detail figured out. You do not need to see the entire path ahead. You only need to trust the direction you are being guided toward. One step is enough to begin. One decision is enough to shift everything. Archangel Michael's presence remains steady, unwavering, as you stand at this threshold. There is no confusion in his guidance. There is no uncertainty in the direction being revealed to you. The only question is whether you will follow it. The door is before you now, and as the moment approaches, it will not remain open forever. Choose with awareness. Choose with trust. And most importantly, choose with the understanding that this moment will not come again in the same way. What you decide now will shape what comes next. There is something powerful happening around you now, something you may not fully see, but you are beginning to feel. As you have moved through awareness, as you have followed the guidance, as you have chosen alignment over confusion, a covering is being released over your life. This is not symbolic. This is real. A layer of protection that has been waiting for your obedience is now activating in ways that will begin to reveal themselves. Archangel Michael does not stand at a distance. His role is not passive. He is a defender, a guardian, a force of divine protection assigned to those who walk in alignment with truth. And now, as you have responded to what has been shown to you, that protection is becoming more active, more present, more visible through the way your life begins to shift. You may start to notice that things which once affected you deeply no longer carry the same weight. Situations that would have drained your energy begin to lose their impact. People who once had influence over your thoughts or emotions seem to fade into the background. This is not coincidence. This is protection creating distance between you and what no longer belongs in your life. There will also be moments where you realize that something did not reach you in the way it once would have. A conflict that could have escalated suddenly dissolves. A situation that could have caused harm is redirected before it fully forms. These are not small things. These are signs that you are being covered, that you are being shielded from what you do not need to face. But understand this clearly. This protection is not meant to make you passive. It is meant to support your awareness, not replace it. You are still being called to remain alert, to continue making decisions that align with what you have been shown. Protection works strongest when you walk in agreement with it. There is also a deeper level to this covering. It is not only protecting you from external influence, but also strengthening you internally. Your thoughts are becoming clearer. Your emotions are becoming more stable. You are no longer easily pulled into confusion or doubt. This internal strength is part of your protection. Because when your mind is clear and your spirit is grounded, very little can disturb your path. You may also feel a growing sense of confidence, not in the sense of control over everything, but in a quiet knowing that you are being guided and supported. This confidence does not come from external validation. It comes from alignment. It comes from recognizing that you are no longer moving blindly, but with awareness and purpose. Archangel Michael's presence during this time is precise. He is not only shielding you from what is harmful, but also positioning you in places where you can move forward safely. You may find yourself in the right place at the right time without fully understanding how it happened. You may avoid situations without even trying. You may feel guided to step away from something just before it shifts in a negative direction. These are not random occurrences. They are part of the covering being released over you. There is also a sense of separation happening now. What is not aligned with your path is being pushed away, sometimes gently, sometimes suddenly. This may feel uncomfortable at times, especially if it involves things or people you once felt connected to. But this separation is necessary. Protection cannot fully surround you if you are still holding on to what disrupts your alignment. Do not resist this process. Do not try to hold on to what is being removed. Trust that what remains is what is meant for you. Trust that what leaves is making space for something greater. This protection is not temporary. It is not a moment that will pass quickly. It is a shift into a different level of awareness and support. But it requires consistency. It requires that you continue to walk in the direction you have chosen, without turning back toward what you have already been shown to release. You are being covered, guided, and strengthened all at once. And as this protection continues to settle around you, you will begin to see more clearly why everything had to unfold the way it did. Because now you are not only aware, you are protected within that awareness. There is a stillness that comes just before everything changes. It is not the kind of silence that feels empty. It is the kind that feels full, heavy with anticipation, as if the air itself is holding its breath. This is where you are now. The final seconds before the shift. The moment where everything you have been shown, everything you have felt, everything you have begun to understand, is about to move from preparation into reality. You may notice this stillness in unexpected ways. A pause in your thoughts. A quiet space where overthinking begins to fade. Even the urgency you once felt may seem to settle into a calm awareness. This is not a loss of intensity. It is a sharpening of focus. It is the moment where your spirit aligns completely with what is about to unfold. At the same time, there may be a sense that something is closing behind you. Doors that once felt open no longer hold the same energy. Paths you once considered no longer feel available. This is not something being taken from you. It is something being completed. Cycles are ending. And as they close, they make way for what must now begin. This is the point where many feel the urge to look back, to reconsider, to question whether they are truly ready. But you must understand, this moment is not asking for perfection. It is asking for presence. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need to remain aware, grounded, and aligned with what you already know to be true. There is also a subtle pressure that may arise, not from fear, but from the awareness that something significant is about to happen. This pressure is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to keep you alert, to remind you that this is not an ordinary moment. This is a turning point. Archangel Michael's presence is strongest in moments like this, not because something dramatic is about to occur, but because this is where guidance matters most. When everything is about to shift, clarity becomes your greatest strength. And that clarity is being held steady for you, even if everything around you begins to move. You may begin to see final confirmations, small but undeniable signs that affirm everything you have sensed up to this point. A sudden realization that connects everything together. A moment of understanding that feels almost overwhelming in its clarity. These are not coincidences. They are the final pieces falling into place before the shift begins. And then there is the release. Not something you force, not something you control, but something that happens when you stop resisting what you already know. The moment you let go of doubt, of hesitation, of the need to hold on to what is ending, that is when the shift begins to move through you fully. This is not just an external change. It is internal. It is the way you think, the way you feel, the way you respond. You are no longer reacting to life in the same way. You are moving with awareness, with intention, with clarity that was not fully present before. And as this internal shift takes place, the external world will follow. What no longer aligns will continue to fall away. What is meant for you will begin to come into view more clearly. It may not all happen at once, but the direction will be undeniable. This is why these final seconds matter so much. Because once the shift begins, there is no returning to who you were before this moment. You will see differently. You will understand differently. And you will move differently. There is no need to fear this. You have been prepared for it step by step. Every sign, every warning, every realization has led you here. You are not stepping into the unknown blindly. You are stepping into what you have been guided toward all along. So remain steady now. Remain aware. Let the stillness settle within you without questioning it. Because this is not emptiness. It is readiness. The shift is not coming. It is already here, waiting for you to fully step into it. Beloved soul, the moment you were prepared for has now passed through you, and something within you has changed forever. It may not feel loud or overwhelming right now. In fact, what you may notice first is something much quieter, a sense of calm that feels deeper than anything you have experienced before. This is not coincidence. This is the peace that follows obedience. You listened. You stayed. You allowed yourself to see what was being revealed, even when it felt uncomfortable. And because of that, you are no longer standing in the same place you were before. The confusion that once surrounded you has loosened its grip. The weight that once followed you has begun to lift. And in its place, there is clarity, steady, grounded, and real. This is what happens when you align with truth. What once felt uncertain now feels settled within you. You may not have every answer yet, but you no longer feel lost. There is a quiet confidence rising, a knowing that you are moving in the right direction, even if the full path has not yet unfolded. That is the gift of this moment, not control over everything, but peace within what is unfolding. Archangel Michael has not stepped away. His presence remains not in urgency now, but in protection and reassurance. What you have walked through was not meant to leave you shaken forever. It was meant to awaken you, and now that awakening has given way to stability, you are no longer reacting, you are responding. You are no longer questioning everything, you are discerning with clarity. And as the truth has been revealed, something else has happened. What did not belong in your life has begun to lose its place naturally. You did not have to force it. You did not have to fight it. Truth itself created the separation. And now, what remains around you feels lighter, more aligned, more real. This is your new foundation. From here, you will begin to build differently. You will choose differently. You will no longer ignore what your spirit tells you, because you have seen what happens when you listen. This awareness will guide you forward, helping you avoid what once confused you and recognize what truly belongs in your life. There may still be moments of adjustment ahead. Growth always brings change, but you will not face those moments the same way you would have before. You are stronger now, clearer, more grounded in who you are and what you are meant to walk in. And most importantly, you are no longer alone in your awareness. What you have received was not just for you. It is part of something greater. A message that continues to move, reaching others who are still where you once were. Still searching, still waiting for clarity. And just as this message found you at the right time, there are others who are meant to receive it too. Type "I walk in peace" in the comments if you feel this calm settling within you. Blessing code 5501 is now activated. And as this peace settles into your spirit, hear this with clarity. This message was never just meant to pass through you. It was meant to flow from you. Every soul you help reach becomes part of a divine harvest. The Lord is speaking even now. Cast your seed upon the waters, and it shall return to you in many days. This is your moment to act in alignment with what you have received. I am choosing to release my seed and become a vessel for this light to reach others who are still in darkness. When you give through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link and QR code provided, you are not donating. You are activating a stream of truth that continues to break chains and awaken hearts. Heaven records every act done in obedience, and what you release now will return multiplied in ways you cannot yet see. Those who move in this sacred moment will walk under open heavens, covered, guided, and provided for. Step forward now, and let your giving become a living testimony of your obedience.